What's up, everyone? In this video, we're going to cover what happened in the market today and some important things you'll definitely want to know. Before we get into it, I want to say thank you to everyone for the kind wishes in the comments down below over the past couple days. I really appreciate it. Luckily, my area wasn't hit that bad, but I know some other areas got hit very hard. So we definitely want to pray for them. But again, thank you guys for all of the kind wishes. But looking at the market today, Tom, it was pretty brutal. We saw a lot of selling pressure across the board. Apple got demolished. Tesla took a beating. There was a lot of red. And what's going on?
Yeah, the main thing, like you said, a bunch of selling pressure came in. Honestly, Mike, you probably were happy to be gone for a couple days there with the way the market was whipsawing around. It was up and down all over the place, but I'm glad to have you back. And yeah, the market is definitely down today in a big way. Like you said, all these big tech stocks are down, bank stocks are down, health stocks are in the red. It is definitely not what we want to see. And really, what kicked it off today is that jobless claims came in and hit a 5-month low, which initially sounds great. There's less jobless claims that came in at 193,000 claims, well below the 215,000 estimate. And like I said, initially, this sounds amazing. Less people are filing jobless claims. The jobs market's doing great. But the reason that this is bad is that this actually gives the feds a cleaner slate to kind of keep raising rates. They keep talking about that potentially raising rates is going to hurt the jobs market. And with the jobs market still holding up, it just keeps giving the feds more reasons to keep raising these rates. And that's part of the reason why the market was gapping down in pre-market and then had such a bad sell-off at market open. Now, there was a couple other things that caused the market to fall, like Apple's bad news, continuing off of yesterday's bad news. But still, the SPY had that bad news come in with the jobless claims, Mike. And something interesting to me was that we actually did see the dollar continue to fall today with the SPY. So with the dollar falling, that actually is a good thing for the market. But obviously, Apple, and whenever you have a day where Tesla is down 6.8%, it's almost like the market, it's just not going to go green when you have this many stocks down over 5% plus. Like, my whole watch list is almost down over 5%.
Yeah, it's definitely a tough one. But while this is not good to see, I don't think it's as bad as everyone is expecting. Looking at the SPY a little bit closer, we are just above that pre-COVID level. A lot of stocks are at very low levels. We have some great companies like Meta trading for some great valuations. And looking at the SPY, like on the daily chart or even on an intraday chart right now, you can tell that it is pretty oversold over the past month in a very, very similar way as to how it was overbought in the middle of August. In the middle of August, like a bunch of stocks just recovered way too much. We had companies like Apple and other big companies jump by like 25 or 30% in a very short period of time, and it's not sustainable. Now we're seeing somewhat similar levels of being overextended, but this time it's the downside. So while we are basically at the low of the year, I am expecting a bounce back up over the next couple days. Time will tell to see what happens, but we're at a key support level, and the main part is that we're just overextended. And normally in these circumstances, we do see the market normalize.
Yeah, and I hope it does normalize, Mike. I will say I'm getting awfully scared. One thing that I'm looking at with this setup is I go back to this setup back in March and April, and I feel like it's almost a similar situation here. We had that big drop down. We had a very nice recovery up, and you can see back in April, it started to retest that low there, and the SPY got extremely volatile for a few weeks before finally making that big plunge down through that key support. And I hope that this 362 support ends up holding up for us. But looking at the market here, Mike, as we can see, it's been extremely volatile. If we do end up breaking this, we might have a big run down. I'm curious how long it's going to take to break it, though. And as of right now, it seems like it is holding up. I will say early on this morning, I got a little bit worried, Mike, when we got to 360. I was kind of crossing my fingers there, hoping for a bounce. And good thing we got it, because like I said, I'm kind of waiting for those bears to come in and create some momentum. So hopefully we keep holding right here. Like you said, that is a big support. I think everybody should really watch that, especially with the way stocks are moving around lows. Like if you look at Meta, Mike, even they're kind of holding down here this week, down around a nice low. DraftKings formed a nice support down here around 1450, and a lot of stocks are starting to actually even out here, which can be good actually. So hopefully we see those pops up like you're talking about.
Alrighty, there we go. So Tom, what else do we have going on in the market? What is the important news?
Yeah, like we talked about, a lot of stocks are down. Tesla was down a lot. And one of the big stocks that was down, of course, was Apple. This was really making the market sell off. And we talked about them a lot yesterday as they had to kind of readjust some of those production numbers. So they were asking manufacturers to produce 6 million more units for the second half of this year. Now they scaled back those numbers. And with them scaling this back yesterday, Apple ended up falling down. But again, this morning, Apple fell even more because now Bank of America actually downgraded them again. They're actually downgrading them, and it's a pretty bad sign, Mike, when you have such a big bank like Bank of America downgrading them. They cut the price to 160 a share from 185. And I just want to reiterate that Bank of America is one of the bigger companies out there. Now, I will say a smaller firm, Rosenblatt Securities, they actually upgraded their rating on Apple from neutral to buy, and raised their price target to 189 from 160. So while not everybody agrees with this, keep in mind Bank of America is the bigger company, and that's probably why Apple had such a bad sell-off at open, even though Rosenblatt had their disagreement.
Gotcha. Alrighty. So good to know, whenever you see a powerhouse market moving company like Apple down that much, it really has a big influence on the market. So as long as Apple keeps falling, it's not impossible for the market to go up, but it does make it a lot harder for the market to go up because Apple's such a powerhouse company. But Tom, another powerhouse company, Disney, actually had some interesting news lately. So what's going on there?
Yeah, they did have some interesting news, and they need some news because look at the way that stock has been moving over the past couple months. But yeah, they're actually bringing a new president to kind of launch their new Disney Plus ad supported tier. So guys, I know a lot of companies like Netflix and a couple others have been talking about ad-supported tiers over the past couple months and even over the past year. And it looks like Disney is going to be doing this as well. They're going to be actually raising the price of Disney Plus without ads to $10.99 per month, which is a $3 increase or a 38% jump in that price. And then the ad-supported tier will be $7.99 per month. But keep in mind, the ad-supported tier has commercials. And what's interesting about this to me, Mike, is that they're making this $7.99 a month, and then the Disney Plus without ads is going to be $10.99 a month. I don't know about you, but if I'm going to pay $8, I would definitely pay the extra $3 to upgrade to no ads. And I would expect a lot of people do this. So hopefully this makes numbers for Disney even better. And whenever I look at these Disney Plus subscriber numbers, last quarter they came in at 152.1 million subscribers. I'm not saying this would translate towards every subscriber, but imagine like a $3 increase times 152 sounds like quite a bit of money there, maybe 300 million plus.
Yeah, so we'll see. Like, what's interesting with this deal is like kind of like what you said, Tom. If you're only going to see a $3 increase, I feel like many consumers wouldn't necessarily cancel their Disney Plus subscription, considering that the prices of many other things over the past 2 years have increased by more than $3. So I feel like the increase isn't going to encourage too many people to cancel, but at the same time, it's going to be so good for Disney's, just revenue increase. So that's awesome there. Disney is a company that I own for the long term, and I think that they're trading at a pretty good level. So I guess we'll see.
Yeah, and looking at Disney on the daily chart, Mike, they're almost down to those yearly lows again. It looks like they are consolidating a little bit at like this $95 support. They did have a big jump up yesterday, Mike, but as we know today, they gave back most of those gains. So we'll have to see how it goes. But again, another pretty good stock at a really good valuation right now. And going back in the past, Mike, there's a huge support at 90 coming up, which is that low of this year. Watch $90, guys. There has been so many bounces here. I'm actually going to draw a really big support, Mike. You can see there's been like 1, 2, 3, 4, like 5 bounces here over the past like 5 or 6 years.
Crazy. All right, Tom. Well, I think it is now time for the momentum plays. With the first one, we have JP Morgan to the upside.
Yeah, JP Morgan, go ahead and make them break out above 107 for tomorrow.
All right, there we go. With the next one, we have Meta, also to the upside.
Meta, yeah, make them break above 138.50.
All right, and then with the last one, we have Disney, also to the upside.
Good old Disney. Couldn't forget about them with all that good news today. Make them break out above 98.40.
All right, so we're watching Disney, Meta, and JP Morgan for potential day trades to the upside tomorrow, only if they break above the level Tom listed. Before we move on, if you guys are new to the channel, definitely subscribe. We post brand new videos every single day. But Tom, do you have any favorite stocks or setups for tomorrow?
Yeah, I did have to talk about one big stock, Mike, that ended up going red today, but only by a little bit. And I thought this was actually really good considering that the market fell today. And that is GLD or gold. We're finally seeing gold start to pop back up a little bit, and the market was actually down today. Lately, gold has actually been going down with the market, but we did see the DXY or that dollar start to really sell off. And if we look at the dollar on a daily chart, Mike, we've been talking about things being overextended here lately. And look at this overextension to the upside. If the dollar keeps falling down right now with this good momentum that it's been picking up over the past couple days, I think that gold or GLD could start to become a really good buy here. And GLD recently broke below big support around 158 and fell down to lows close to 150. So hopefully we can keep bouncing up, Mike. I think that if the dollar keeps falling, gold could have some pretty good momentum. And like I said, I'm glad to finally see this one moving in the right direction.
All right, there we go. And before we close out, we want to give a giant shout out to today's member of the day, which is Puff Laddie. Your activity has been increasing very recently, so definitely keep it up. It's great to have you in the chat. Besides that, guys, I'm very excited for the market tomorrow. You know, we're right around lows. We almost always see increased volatility, or at least above average volatility in these times. So be prepared. There should be some pretty solid opportunities, not only tomorrow, but over the next week or so. So thank you guys so much for watching. Subscribe if you're new, and let's end the week strong.